If you haven't taken the survey yet, the link is in the description below.
What if I tried a whole different way of opening this door? A way I've never tried before.
Welcome to the semi-final prediction. In the last 3 days, we have over 500 people that already took the survey. That's freaking amazing. Thank you so much for your support and doing this with me. It's actually a lot of fun. I haven't looked at any of the results yet. So first of all, I'm going to look at all of the songs and make some predictions to which songs I think will go to the finals. And then I'm also going to look at the past data we have and see if I can find an average or things to see which songs are most statistically likely to move on to the finals. In the comments yesterday, BA suggested that we should have a poll to determine what is the worst King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard song, but the fair player said something very smart, that we already have that data if we look at the songs that performed the worst in the first round of the survey. So I did that. We have Floating Fire from Murder of the Universe that has 4.09%, and The Killing Ground from Eyes Like the Sky, which had 1.57%. That was at a glance. I'm not sure if those are the worst, but those are probably two very low ones. The thing is, this data shows us, yes, the ones that got outvoted, but the thing is, it doesn't account for the fact that those songs went against really strong songs. So for example, both of these songs, The Floating Fire was against Robot Stop, and The Killing Ground is against I'm in Your Mind. It's difficult to say whether it's because the song that they were against was really strong that they got voted at such a low percentage. So it's not exactly accurate, but it does show us these are two not really appreciated songs. Also, Adam the Factual says that ABABCD is the best King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard song, but I wanted to tell you it lost in the first round to The Wheel at 86 and 14%. It is really good. It is a really good song, but it got unlucky in the first round going against like such a good song. The Wheel went up until it lost as well against Self-Immolate, I think. Anyway, let's get into my predictions. If you haven't taken the survey yet, the link is in the description below. So let's take a look at what we have here. Nuclear Fusion against Crumbling Castle. And I think Crumbling Castle will win. Just because it's just more popular than Nuclear Fusion. Nuclear Fusion is the last track of an older album. So whether or not it's better, is irrelevant. But if you look here, we also have Hazardous, Regal Seagull, and Anthony Perfetto that have voted for Crumbling Castle, but no one for Nuclear Fusion, I think. It's unfortunate. I think I saw other people vote for Nuclear Fusion in the previous video. So yeah, so I think Crumbling Castle will pass. In the second one here, we have Am I in Heaven versus I'm in Your Mind. Am I in Heaven, actually, I was surprised that it made it this far. I'm definitely surprised that it beat Rattlesnake. I'm in Your Mind is just more popular. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, as you can see, Jackson Nicholas and Sanity33 are voting for Am I in Heaven. All right, what else do we have? Self-Immolate versus Big Fig Wasp. I think I voted for Big Fig Wasp, but I'm pretty sure Self-Immolate will win. But then again, like, there are 3 songs from Nonagon Infinity, so maybe people just love that album and are voting all the songs from there. People Vultures, we have Jones that said he would vote, he was rooting for that one. And versus The Lord of Lightning, I think The Lord of Lightning will win. Sen8033 said something about that as well. I just think The Lord of Lightning has ultimate power. I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough one. Maybe People Vultures will pass. Okay, and then Robot Stop versus The River. I think that's gonna be really close, but I have a feeling that The River is gonna win. Just because The River is in all of The River's always winning everything. And then that means that the finals would be Self-Immolate, I'm in Your Mind, The River, Self-Immolate, I'm in Your Mind, The River, Crumbling Castle, Lord of Lightning. And so yeah, it could be like this. That's what a lot of people are saying. Out of these two, Crumbling Castle will win, right? But this is not how we're organizing this, by the way. But if it was like this, it would be Crumbling Castle wins this, The River wins this, and then we have Self-Immolate, and then actually Self-Immolate versus Crumbling Castle. That's really interesting. Self-Immolate versus the river. I don't know. That's so strange. That would actually be hilarious that if the river wins. I'm pretty sure that the river is gonna win, but Crumbling Castle will have had higher majorities. So like it performed better. It had more higher percentages. Like more people feel very avidly about Crumbling Castle, but the river is kind of just like a default. Yeah, it has such a good groove. So you have to vote for that song. Now let's take a look at the math part of it. So can we do this? And this is gonna take me a minute because I need to gather, I need to look at each survey and get that information. So I'm gonna kind of do this quickly. Okay, so I kind of just did this. Here, let's give it a title. This is just an average of how the songs did. So these 4 divided by 4. So here we can see the one that's performing the best so far is The River. And then we have, I guess, Robot Stop, that's close second. So actually that's great that those two were put together. And then Crumbling Castle and I'm in Your Mind. Those are the ones that on average have had more significant differences with their opponents or opposing songs. As a forecast, this is using the forecast function in Excel. I think it's just a linear regression. So it's looking at these values and predicting the future. It draws a function that intersects through all of the points, and right now it's showing us that Crumbling Castle is actually the top according to the forecast. Here you can see that they almost all have performed the same. They all almost have the same amount of points, which is not that surprising. It means that this thing is not necessarily that accurate. Don't take this too seriously, but basically, what is it telling us for the semifinals? We have over here, let's see, Nuclear Fusion versus Crumbling Castle. Crumbling Castle has a higher probability of winning, 78%, and here as well, so it's hard to argue with that. Am I in Heaven versus I'm in Your Mind, 77% for I'm in Your Mind. In both scenarios, I'm in Your Mind wins. That's, see, I predicted this way, that's how I'm thinking. But like, again, this is really based on very little data and it doesn't mean anything. All right, what's next? Self-Immolate, Big Fig Wasp, and Big Fig Wasp would take it according to the data. Interesting. Wow, I'm looking forward to see that. I'd be totally down for that. Yeah, I guess Self-Immolate didn't do that well. What did they go against? Tetrachromacy, Cellophane. Oh, it's because they went against Cellophane, which really skewed their, performed poorly against Polygonal Wonderland and Cellophane, which like makes sense. Yeah, so maybe Big Fig Wasp will pass. All right, cool. I'm so down. Hey, if Big Fig Wasp goes to the finals, if Big Fig Wasp is the best song, that's my jam. People Vultures and The Lord of Lightning. So what do we have here? People Vultures or The Lord of Lightning, 72 and 51. So both of these, The Lord of the Lightning is more likely to win according to this thing. And finally, which is what I predicted, so you know, excuse me while I just wipe my dandruff. What is it? Wipe the gold? Who does that? I don't even know. Insert reference here. And finally, Dominic Petruski says Robot Stop, and Robot Stop here. Oh, well, see, this one is interesting because, oh no, both of them are below. Yeah, so the river would win this one. Okay, so really this one is the only one I'm kind of interested to see. I'm curious about it, and we'll find out. So looking at this graph, here's what I can see. I'm going to eliminate these ones because they're just on the lower side of the scale. So that's Lord of Lightning, People Vultures, Big Fig Wasp, Am I in Heaven, and Nuclear Fusion. They're the ones with the lowest average probability. So that makes sense to me. So let's take off Nuclear Fusion, Am I in Heaven, Self-Immolate, Big Fig Wasp, People Vultures, The Lord of Lightning. Aww.
Don't let him kill me!
Those are gone, so this is a little bit clearer now. What's interesting to see is that you can actually see kind of like a trend line. So this shows you how people have felt about the songs over the span of the surveys. And so you can see they all start really high because they're great songs and they're always performing very well, but as it gets harder and harder to pick, they'll go down. So as you can see, Robot Stop did well, but then it did a lot less well. It must have gone against something really hard. What did it go against in the second round? In the second round, Robot Stop was against this thing. So that was a hard battle, and then it did very well against I'm Not In Your Mind. But then Billabong Valley, it's like falling very fast. It could still go up, but if I put a trend line to it, let's see, I think I can just do it like this. You can see they're saying it's been going down, which they all are, but it's just this one's going down faster. If I look at the river and do a trend line, it's just lower but at a higher probability. But see this one, yeah. What about this? No, see, that's not, interesting. So what if I include J, let's put a J here, J, let's put a J here. So here you can see these are the averages. I don't know, that doesn't really make that much sense to be putting them as the fifth. So actually in this scenario, in the averages, the river is catching higher just because it's held stable, so it's had a more stable performance and it catches, I don't know, it just goes higher. And then here with the forecast, this honestly looks a lot more realistic to me just because this is literally impossible. So actually I've been doing the finals. So this was predicting the finals. Here it says that Crumbling Castle will win, but I'm not sure. I don't know, we'll see. That's really interesting. So and for the results of this survey, because this was the whole point, I got carried away trying to find out I got totally carried away trying to find out the answer of the finals. I just wanted to know the semifinals. So that was super interesting. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Cool, I thought that was fun. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.